Hey, welcome back. But wait, it's not Mobility WOD. I am Kelly Starrett from Mobility WOD, also of the Healing Arts. And I am here with someone you know too intimately, the Kenny Kane. And we wanted to have a conversation today about some changes on the horizon at CrossFit LA.
Yep.
And let me just back up for a second, because I've known CrossFit LA from the beginning. We were the 27th CrossFit, and I think CrossFit LA is like number 9.
Yep.
So back in the day, I used to call up Andy and be like, Andy, where'd you get those bands, right? And he's like, I got them, and I have 6 of them, and you can have 2, right? So, I mean, long time ago, you got pulled into CrossFit LA because you have been a phenomenal athlete your whole life. You've always been a coach in my brain, and you have been deeper and deeper into the CrossFit LA scene. You've run their programming. You've just become the soul of that community and there's some changes. Tell me about the changes in a nutshell.
Well, the biggest change is that I just purchased CrossFit Los Angeles from Andy.
Woo!
So yeah, cheers. A bit scary, but I'm thoroughly excited to take this on, because Andy has contributed, like you said. Andy's been a long time contributor to not just CrossFit but fitness in general. I mean, as one of the early adopters, being the 9th gym, he has constantly innovated for the CrossFit world.
Oh, he's been holding the space for so many of us for so long.
Yeah.
It really, truly.
Yeah.
You know, this is when you see a leadership change at the top for such an iconic place, and a place that obviously means so much to so many people are a little bit freaked out. Like, Andy has always been a man of many sort of ideas and things. Talk to me about what's he doing? Is he, because I think that my understanding and my interpretation is that he's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah, Andy does have a lot on his plate. As many of you know, he developed something called the Whole Life Challenge. And so initially that started as one of the many very inventive things that's happened at CrossFit Los Angeles. But what he's done is taking that with his partner, Michael Stanwyck, and made it sort of a global thing. So that's
something we do at RJ.
Yeah, something we do at San Francisco CrossFit, yeah. And so it's gone worldwide, and with that, so has his attention. And in the meantime, Andy and I have developed such an amazing, strong professional rapport that this evolution was rather organic. For the last several years, he's been really focused on the development and broad application of the Whole Life Challenge. And so that's allowed me to step in and, as you mentioned, take over the programming and take over the head coaching position. So it was a type of thing where I had a couple of opportunities to leave, but one of the things that's been bred into our culture is that strong sense of community. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I chose to stay, is our people and our current staff. I mean, they're, in my view, the most amazing people that I've ever encountered in my life, and our team is as strong as any head coach or owner could possibly want.
Now, you're one of our besties. Mm-hmm. You're a cult of personality. You work with elite CrossFit coaches and athletes around even just the mental piece. Mm-hmm. Not much less the physical piece. But do you feel like you are like being outsourced, like you're India, and we've called you up? And no, I'm just kidding. You were like, where are we going? We're in India? Look, this is very exciting, but to be able to talk about it, you literally, I feel like, having known you for as long as I've known you, you need to be able to sort of open and hold the entire space so that you can really go. And this allows Andy to continue to work, but also allows the members of CrossFit LA to have even a more complete picture and sort of a different experience, because one person can actually, you can be responsible for the whole thing.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that we've been naturally evolving towards is what we're calling ourselves at this point is a school of mastery. And so that discussion is what, as a leader, I'm 100% interested in evolving. And mastery to me means several things. First of all, like when we bring in students to CrossFit Los Angeles, we teach them what I call the simple 7, the 7 basic ways human beings move. And we want for our students to take those 7 movements and apply them to everything in life, sort of the original intent of CrossFit. One of my broader concerns with CrossFit as a whole, as I've seen the evolution over the last decade, is that original pyramid that Greg Glassman originally put out, which is very brilliant. At the top of the pyramid, you've got sport, and right beneath that, you've got weightlifting and throwing. Underneath that in the pyramid, you've got gymnastics. Underneath that, you've got metabolic conditioning. Underneath that, you've got nutrition. somehow in the last couple of years,
You've got ice cream and beer.
well, right. And so my concern with CrossFit is that in the marketplace, that pyramid has been inverted. So it's literally been flipped upside down. So the big piece has been about the sport itself of CrossFit, which is brilliant, but it isn't applicable, I don't think, to the everyday person. Other than you're doing some of the same movements.
And we can take the principles that we're learning as CrossFit sport, high performance, and apply them. We have done the same thing,
right.
And I think any gym that has been around for a long time, plus 10 years now, right. we call it the long game.
Right.
So
long
the
game.
School of Mastery is our idea of long game, and how do we make this a sustainable project and continue to be really intellectually interesting?
Well, so that on the bottom of the pyramid, the one thing that I've added at CrossFit Los Angeles is that there's something that we refer to as context. So that everything in the context at the bottom of the pyramid is about the mental and the emotional pieces that complement the physicality of the program. So what we're talking about is, a three-pronged effort. One is, let's get your physicality right, let's get your mentality right, and let's get your emotionality right. And by the way, all three of those things should be and are integrated. Weird. And so to me, that's the long game. To me, that is a great expression of mastery. When those things truly do integrate, you've got some mastery. But that might not take just a year. I view that as something that might take a lifetime, which is the point, to have a school.
You mean thrusters and pull-ups won't just make me a better man?
That's exactly the point. But like always having the idea of our experience at the gym being a practice.
So, okay, you run such a kick-ass program. Andy, created this framework. You guys have really filled it out. You realize, hey, I can, this is my next evolution as a coach. And I think people will see that, even this, that, we're always saying, how are we continuing to push as coaches and thinkers? And I think you occupying this space, people will feel sort of your growth and see how much work you've been doing behind the scenes. Does this change anything radically for CFLA?
Yeah, just so everybody knows, rates will only quadruple, and everything should rest assured that will be the rate increase.
And it's only burpees and thrusters for the next 3 years, is that right? Yeah, until we master those movements?
Yeah, you got to master it. We're talking about physical mastery, is you must master the burpee and thruster. So every workout variation.
And only sweet potato and raw chicken breast, is that right? Okay,
only,
no problem.
Yes.
We got you, CrossFit LA. Look, you just needed to. You haven't said this. This is you and Andy. This is organic. It's been happening. You guys have been putting, but you really just haven't sort of put a pin in and said, "Hey, this is where we are."
It's funny. This has taken really about 2 years. The conversation started in 2012, and originally Andy was warm to it, then cold on it. I was warm to it, then cold to it, and then we realized that is absolutely what needs to and has to happen.
Well, I can speak unequivocally. Juliet's on the camera, but when you there is an emotional attachment to your baby,
yeah.
And I cannot think of someone better suited for the community, and who already is there, and that it is a natural continuum of what Andy has built, and also next gen, because we're talking about the personal evolution, and you're going to see the evolution inside the community, and you're that guy, dude. Congratulations on the worst decision of your life, because let's be honest, if you've ever been to CrossFit LA, they're just beautiful people and they're so smart, and you're going to be around that even more, and you're going to even have worse self-esteem.
Right.
So
come join our self-esteem reduction program if you haven't. Kelly will drop in and make sure that you feel really bad doing your burpees and thrusters.
And more importantly, Andy banned me a long time ago. He was like, "Hey Kelly, you're not good around here," and I think the ban is lifted, so I'll be around now. Dance parties.
Dude,
it's going off.
So the other thing that you need to know, if you're watching this video, every year we do celebrate my birthday with a sweatsuit dance party. So this year the Starettes are going to be there for the sweatsuit dance party, and it is something that we can be looking forward to. Another thing to be looking forward to is we're going to be hosting ping pong tournaments to help us fund a basketball rim inside the tall room. So small things, but many other big things coming your way.
MWAD is your first official sponsor. Kenny Kane, congratulations.
Thank you, God.
I'm so stoked. CrossFit LA, hold on to your butts.
Here we go.